Giant egg and banana pancake that I'm making.
Oh! It's like nothing ever happened.
Will you punch your fist into the compost cake? Wait, that was literally it? That wasn't like the practice? Wow. Wow, babe.
I don't want to compact it.
I don't want to compact it. It will hurt the microbes.
It might.
Hey, Corey, what's this long flower bed you're making here?
It's going to be sunflowers, and it's going to be beautiful. All sunflowers. Tall 7-foot ones, and then 4 to 5 foot.
So what do you...
That is south. So hopefully...
This is the south side of the house, so
Yeah.
it's going to get lots of sun.
Lots of sun, and they'll open up and face that way.
What's this different materials you're using here?
Yeah, so this is wood chips with cardboard underneath, and then this is compost that we got from the Fayetteville Compost Center.
So the mulch is going to retain moisture
And
water and slowly seep it into this compost garden bed.
Correct, and then also protect the grass from getting into the bed.
From invading. Cool. All right, here's the plumbing I'm dealing with under the house. Now, I can't read anything on this pipe exactly. Let me try to get it on video. I believe this is where the water comes in. This pipe comes out of the ground right to here. And it's got this smaller pipe that comes out of it. And it joins up to the metal plumbing, all of which is rusted to shit and all clogged up. I think this is like a pressure regulator. And then the first thing it goes up into through the floor, see that plastic pipe there? It goes up into a water heater that is non-functioning. Doesn't work. All right, this will soon be the water closet, AKA the WOM, the Water Organization Module. Learned how to do this from Earthship. So I've made a basin in the bottom here, put a 2x4 across there with liquid nails, lots of silicone caulk in every possible corner, and now 2 coats of Kills, and I'm gonna put a coat of Rust-Oleum enamel on the top of this once it's dry. So it should be a pretty good sealed basin. The inlet for the water is gonna come, it's under the house, right? So I'm gonna pop it up through the floor here, put a ball valve right there so I can turn it off and on from right here in the closet. Don't have to crawl into the house anymore. And there's gonna be a floor drain over here so that any water that leaks from the WOM into the basin goes out the drain. Here's how far I've gotten today on the WOM closet. The PEX under the house, I cut it before it attached to the spider's web of steel and ceramic and PVC pipe that is the labyrinth under this house. I just took it all the way back to the PEX that comes directly in and then jointed that to some new PEX that Mark Wisdom gave me, thanks Mark, and came directly up through the floor into the house. So now all of my plumbing management is going to be done up here in the house, in this closet, and not in the terrifying labyrinthine and frankly claustrophobic space under this house. You don't need a special tool. They make special tools, but my hands have evolved beyond wrenches. Water's on. I think it worked. Woo! Yeah! Yeah. Oh yeah, it's there. Hot diggity! check it out. There's a drain in the WOM closet. I'll have to repaint a bit around it, but can't do better than that. Screep came out to the farm today, and I showed him this waterfall of yellow daffodils that spills. You know, we have these yellow daffodils all around the brick house up there, and then there's this little waterfall of them that spills off the side of the cliff and spreads out down here on our private beach. And my grandma, on her 89th birthday, finally told me the story behind this. My grandpa was digging up a bunch of these that were growing around the house, and he filled a 5-gallon bucket full of bulbs and then just dumped it over the cliff. And that became a literal cascade of daffodils. It's beautiful. Amazing. The freshwater spring is running heavy after these rains. This is where my grandparents and great-grandparents got all their drinking water.
Well, a big gust of wind would take that away anyway.
All right. It's a natural brush barrier so we can keep out the goblins. Except for that goblin, he's allowed. This is this year's garden thus far. Aren't they cute? Okay. Making lots of progress here. We've got our pressure regulator and valve, our large particulate spin down filter, and our medium spin down filter, as well as another valve so that I can force pressure to wash out the valves once in a while. And it's going to tee off here to both sides of the house. I've got a new water heater to put in, so we're getting really close. So we got out here in July of last year, of 2022, in the dead heat of the hottest summer that I can remember. And the forest behind us, all around us, was basically an impenetrable wall of vines and thorns and brush and greenery and ticks. I mean, we hiked in it a few times, but you couldn't really see anything. You couldn't tell one thing apart from another. And now that we're starting to come into spring, cross your fingers, I'm starting to notice things and starting to see patterns. This behind us is a wild peach tree. It's got pink blossoms all over it. And one thing we did notice is last summer, this thing put out a ton of peaches. I mean, more than we could ever use. They were littering the ground in the yard. And now come spring, I'm noticing that we have these wild peach trees everywhere. They're everywhere. They're like endemic to this land down here by the creek. So yeah, we moved out to the country and now there are millions of peaches. Peaches for me and you if you want some. I picked up 4 blue pallets in town this morning to make a proper staging area for my outdoor faucet, so I'm not traipsing around in the mud when I wash buckets or refill chicken water. In Tulsa, you almost cannot get a hold of these blue pallets. They cost something ridiculous like $50 to $75 each. Out here in the middle of nowhere, $2.50 a piece at the local hardware store. Now the blue pallets are weatherproof. They're made out of treated wood. So you can do things like lay them flat on the ground in a very wet area and expect them to last for a few years. So get yourself some blue pallets if you need any for an application like this.